Welcome back to the world of boxing. Boxing is the martial art that can rightly be called art, and boxing today is also highly tactical. To take minimal damage while achieving maximum results, boxers have to be more cautious. The era of the blockheads is passing. Athletes do not want to take risks. The successes of Floyd Mayweather testify loudly to this.
I wouldn't really want to say, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world because, I'm no longer active. I would like to say, the best ever.
But today, we are going to have a look at the toughest knockouts of old-school boxing. The era of the 80s and 90s, known for its high-profile ups and the broken fates of those that failed. Hardened bodies of steel and the fastest knockouts both fell during this era. An era when no one was cautious, and when the fighter stepped into the ring, he risked his life and gave us an incredible fight. But don't just sit back. Get on the edge of your seat and support our channel with subscriptions and likes. Let us know in the comments which boxers deserve your respect. You're on the World of Boxing channel. Let's go. In 1997, James Senio Poe, aka Jimmy Thunder, set the world record for fastest knockout by taking down Crawford Grimsley in 1.5 seconds in what has become the fastest fight on record.
He was on a roll. He had won 7 in a row by knockout, and now breaks Grimsley with the first.
He delivered a solid right hook to the head and laid Crawford out on the canvas. Grimsley was no weakling. He had a record of 21 successful fights, 18 of them by knockout. His only other loss was delivered by George Foreman.
He was going to prove that he can deliver a punch. When you go in, I don't care who you are, as heavyweight division, they can all punch. When you move forward against a fighter like James Thunder trying to prove your chin and prove your...
Mike Tyson versus Dan Kozad, a knockout in 8 seconds. Mike made his debut in May 1981 at age 15. The boy was called a tank. In that same year, he conducted a total of 6 fights, losing only once. All of his free time was devoted to training, which immediately led to amazing results.
That's it, there you go. Now you got, again. Who's the last guy to stop? Time, very quick.
In 1982, Mike was already performing at the Youth Olympic Games. His first opportunity there, Dan Kozad, was defeated in the ring in just 8 seconds. The rest were dispatched no less brutally.
You tell me what you're gonna do tomorrow.
I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna jab to the head, then I'm gonna throw 8 to the body, and then I'm gonna move after I hit and punch the body.
What are you gonna do when you get inside?
I'm gonna open up like a son of a bitch. How you doing, Coach? Right on the chin. I'm going to relax some because I don't want my head to swell any more than it is. Okay.
Phil Williams versus Brandon Burke. Phil was not the most outstanding boxer of his time, with a rather mediocre record of 15-9. But in this case, the left-hander hit right. In literally 10 seconds, Phil won by knockout.
Heck of a looking ring attire and we're underway. Here we go. Oh, right out of the gate! The fastest knockout I've ever seen in my knockout. Just submitted to Fight Facts as perhaps the fastest knockout in boxing history. Here comes the charge. There's the shot. Goodbye. Buck twitch of the knees, and Phil Drell rolls to 4-0.
Jeremy Williams versus Arthur Weathers. Jeremy was known as a knockout artist who seriously frightened other heavyweight boxers with his powerful blows. He was compared to Jack Dempsey for his uncompromising style.
To be as ready as he can be once he makes it to the top and gets a shot, and it may be quicker than we imagined. Seconds into the fight, and it is tough by Marty Jenkins. You have
Nicky Piper versus John Ellis.
Nicky Piper regularly on seconds out, and that is going to be...
Nicky was a good boxer who was never able to become an outstanding boxer, but he always showed spectacular fights. With a 12-second knockout, he recorded one of the fastest knockouts in the history of boxing.
And poor John Ellis just never knew what hit him, and that could well be an entry for the Guinness Book of Records almost. I think I've just been told 12 seconds in total, so if you say 10 for the count, so that means the actual action.
Nigel Benn versus Ian Chandler, the Dark Destroyer. Yes, the very same Nigel who made Gerald McClellan an invalid, though it was more likely that Gerald was ruined by the infinite cruelty that burned him from inside. This time, Nigel's victim was Ian Chandler, a mediocre boxer with a negative record, several workshop biases, rapprochement, and a powerful blow that blows him into a convoy.
11 out of 11 is a fearsome prospect.
Chris Eubank versus Reginaldo dos Santos. Eubank was not a classic puncher. Out of 45 fights, he only won 23. But the Briton made it into this ranking precisely because he had made one of the fastest knockouts in boxing history. Gerald McClellan versus Jay Bell. Gerald, who later became deaf, blind, and paralyzed, was considered one of the best punchers of his time. According to the accounts of those who fought with him and took part in his training process, McClellan could deliver a heavy beating. His blows were incredibly powerful and painful.
High football team in Chattanooga, 150-pound linebacker off the field, an honor student. And look at this! A big left hook to the body, right in the solar plexus, it appeared to me. This should be a new world record as Gerald McClellan puts Jay Bell on the canvas. We'll get the official word.
Bernard Hopkins versus Steve Frank. Hopkins is the first boxer to hold world titles from all 4 major boxing sanctioned bodies, as well as The Ring magazine. 3 times he was the oldest world champion in history, having won that title in one of the main leagues at the age of 46, 47, and 49. At the age of 49, he combined 2 champion titles, and of course he entered the history of the fastest knockouts by beating Steve Frank in just 24 seconds.
This is for the IBF Middleweight Championship of the World. Protect yourselves at all times, shake hands, go back to your corner and wait for the bell. Come on.
So Steve Frank and hope to fight him later in the fight. Good right hand right out of the box. Down goes Frank. Right there. First punch of the night. You know when a fighter takes it.
No,
well,
man, you're standing.
He didn't give the right answer.
No.
It's that simple. I'd probably gone for the state instead of the city there. Wasn't even close, though. Referee goes over, asks him where he is, and if he doesn't give the right response, the fight is over, and such is the case.
Well, he took his fight on 7 days' notice. He said he's been dreaming for an opportunity like this for a long time, and I think he was dreaming there with that right hand.
Naseem Hamed versus Saeed Lawal. The most enchanting and shocking boxer of his time, without a doubt, was Arab puncher Prince Naseem. His ambitiousness could not help but place him into the history of the fastest knockouts in boxing. He was called the best showman in this sport, but the Prince had an excellent record of 36 victories, with 31 by knockout, and only 1 defeat.
For a while to meet them eyeball to eyeball, and he still has not been prepared to do it.
Now, the wild people say they're going to be in front of Naz. Take the fight to him.
Oh, my word!
Completely gone. If this fight is not finished in the first round, it's because Naz doesn't want to, yet it's all over.
Retains his WBO featherweight title.
Well, we didn't learn anything new, but we're reminded of the chilling power that Naz has with one single punch. That's all it took. All that training, all that hope.
That's all for now, friends. If you're a fan of boxing, subscribe to the channel for more great videos. Goodbye for now.